In this demo, I will show you how to make a very simple infographic. So what we're going to do is we're going to be working with Adobe Illustrator and just open up a blank file. And I just saved it as infographic, so in case something crashes, I don't lose my work. Then we're going to go to Google, and in this case, I wanted to make something about burgers. So I'm going to go burger and hit enter. Now, I want to go into images. I could work with photos, but they're much harder to live trace and get a nice graphic out of. So I'm going to go to my search tools, go to type, and go to line drawings. So now I've got a nice selection of images. I'm going to take the one here. I'm going to click on that and say view image. So I go right to the image. I can right click on that and say copy image. Now I can switch to my Illustrator page and go edit and paste. So now I have this image of a burger. I'm going to make it a little larger so you can see what we've got here. Now, it's still a line drawing. It's all one piece. So what we want to do is we want to live trace it. So you click on live trace, and it's simplified a little bit. I'm not sure I like the thin line here, so I'm going to take this threshold, bring it down a little bit. Click on that. Oh, that's the wrong way. We've got to go threshold the other way. So we can play around with the image. Now I'm pretty happy. I've got my sesame seeds back. Then I'm going to, once I'm happy with the image, I'm going to click on expand. So now they're all separate pieces. I can right click and ungroup them. And now I click off the file, so I have nothing selected. Now I can select the background piece on each side and get rid of the white part. Now, if I select the whole item and go into my colors or my swatches and give it a color, you'll see that I'm going to lose all my black. So I don't want to do that. I'm going to go Control Z and go back. But I can select just this piece and I can color that blue, and I can color my burger brown, and so on. I can give different colors to different parts of my burger, and I could color in each piece that way if I wanted to. Now, that's not what I want though. In an infographic, I could have each color or each part of the burger represent another item in my statistics, but what I want to actually do is I want to break this into pieces. So what I can do is I can take a line or I can take a box. I'm going to draw over it. I'm going to divide it into 3 pieces. So I'm going to have one piece above, one piece below, and the piece in the middle. So I've got that box, and then I go Object, Path, and divide objects below. So that's going to divide the objects below the currently selected object, which is my green box. So I'm going to say object below. So my green box disappears, but now you can see there's a line here, there's a line here. So now what I can do with my selection tool, I can select just this part of the bun and choose one color. The same thing with my meat. I can give that the same color if I wanted to. We'll click the green color and select colors here. Now, you've noticed that I've picked up the colors from my swatches. If you use the color palette to pick a color, let's say I pick this piece and I pick a color that I like, and I say, okay, I'm good with that green. Now I want to recreate that green for this part of the burger, but I don't know what color I had here. What you can do is you can select the part where you want to apply the color, take your eyedropper tool and drop on the piece the color that you want to pick up and click on it. Now I've got the same color here. Okay, so if I did that, and I can apply the different colors depending on where I click. So in this case, now you can break your burger into different parts and say, okay, my green part, my orange part, and so on. They each represent a different piece. Now you could make little boxes next to it to represent the different colors. So you can say, okay, my different colors represent different things. So I can say, okay, this is going to be the beige, and this one is going to be the green. Oops, Control Z, wrong way around. Have to make the box selected and then take the eyedropper, click on the green, and select this box and the eyedropper and select that green. So I've got my 4 colors, and if I want these all to line up, I could have dragged Alt copy to make the size work, but I can also just use my alignment tools and get the sizes right, or look at the measurements of what size I have. So let's say I want this to be 1 inch by 1 inch. Hit enter, so I get a solid size box. I can do that for the other ones as well. 1 by 1, enter, okay. Oops, I have to make sure this is not locked. Okay, so now I can do one by one and one by one here, and make sure these are unlocked. Whoops. Okay, and one by one, and one by one. Okay, now I can select all 4 of them, and I can use my alignment tools to say, yes, I want them aligned along this center line, but I also want them spaced out evenly, so I can go through my spacing, vertical distribute, so now they're nicely spaced. So I can have a nice grid like that. The only problem, if you're going to use this for yearbook, you don't want to do this so that we can be consistent with sizing. We want to create these boxes and the labels for them using InDesign and InDesign styles so that they're consistent. But if you work in Illustrator, this is a quick way to get nice boxes. Then you can take your text tool and add your, BK, for example, represents Burger King. If that's your ratio of, let's say, favorite restaurants. So favorite burger, favorite, or best burgers, right? So you could create it that way. And that's your image. And then when you're ready to save it, you have to think about what you're going to do with this image. If you're going to be placing it in an InDesign file, there's no need to export it as a JPEG or anything.